Woo, buckle up. You're going to need a seatbelt for this one, and, to take a deep breath, because, well, you might actually find it, if you're a survivor of narcissistic abuse or an emotionally immature parent, or you have a mother-in-law in particular, because this is a mother-in-law right here, in your life that has tormented and tortured you, you might find this unsettling. So I'll just tell you that right here and right now. At the same time, though, you also, I hope, will find this validating. The patterns of behavior of abusive, nasty, layered, intentional, insidious, there aren't enough words type of abuses that people like this, who play the victim and the hero and do all the things, perpetrate on their victims, their supply, until their supply escapes, and then of course they switch around, is really devastating. Watching, though, the patterns, the way that they speak the same, their mindset, all the things can also be really, really validating, in that you're not alone, you're not the crazy one, and that you putting distance between yourself and that person, whether it means low contact or no contact, or just buying some time and some space because you're stuck navigating the relationship, is really the thing that you need to do to guard your own well-being and mental health. And not every situation calls for absolute no contact. And I don't tell people what to do in any direction. That's not for me to do. I am a therapist. I work with narcissistic abuse survivors very specifically, and that can look like a few different things, because not every parent is a narcissist. So for any parent out there who's going to come at me and say, no, you're in the wrong place. Find a video where I am absolute hammering at people to go in one direction and calling people narcissists, and I'll eat my words. It doesn't happen. Anyway, you need a seatbelt for this one. A little bit of the backstory, and the full backstory will be in the description in this video, so that you can, copy paste or click on the links that are there, because I've featured her, covered her. I hate to give her that level of importance. She's already taking it on her own a few different times. She has really been hammering away at her daughter-in-law and villainizing her, and doing it so publicly. And apparently where they live, it's not such a big place. So, it becomes the talk of the town sort of thing. And I think that since a lot of this was going on, the daughter-in-law and son and children, there are two boys actually, two children, have distanced themselves geographically. Anyway, this little bitty right here, she shows up at the child's school and then acts horrified that the child doesn't come running to her when she does like this to the child, who knows that she's not a part of their family system unit anymore. System. For whatever reason. And she's like, what is she telling my grandchildren? As she's out here shredding her daughter-in-law. So watching the back video, if you want the complete story in context, will be, I think, eye-opening for anybody out there who's interested. The daughter-in-law finally had enough and said, no, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to stand up for myself, and I'm going to share what's been going on behind the scenes. And even when she did that, she was measured and she was careful. It's pretty apparent to me that she's not looking to be, vengeful like this person is. She's not looking to put everything out there. And actually, she's since put her account on private. She's just looking for people to understand, because, well, she lives in a place where people are going to know who she is and form opinions about her. I think that was a big part of the reason that she decided that she was going to stand up for herself. So, okay, there are several videos where this person claps back, and I'm going to go through them all in this one video because I don't want to continually cover her unless she does something outrageous and it pops up for me. Okay, I will, but otherwise I'm kind of done with her. And if the daughter-in-law out there, I don't want to mention your name, if you see this and you ever want to come on, but she's your mother, if you ever want to share any part of your story, I'm here for you. We're here for you. Okay. And I'm also purposely not putting this on the TT because I save this type of content for my YouTube channel only. Things get flagged over there. Flying monkeys start, wars start. It's a much different environment. And if I didn't need to be on it at all, if I didn't have such, a group of people over there, a community over there, because I don't want to flake out on 140,000 people. I would have shut it down because it's worthless to me. But anyway, that's another topic, isn't it? Maybe that will change. Who knows? Let's go. Let's get into it, shall we?
Hi everyone, thanks for watching my video. Gee, I'm a silly woman. I really am. You know, I think people are, you know, my friends, my followers, and they end up being the enemy. But anyway, that's life, isn't it? But did you know, if you delete your account or deactivate it, you can see everyone that's blocked you. You can see their comments, their posts. I never knew that. So I've had a bit of a busy afternoon reading and watching all the negative things. Just wanted to say hi, Belle Belle. It's my other daughter-in-law, ex-daughter-in-law. Hi. You two have coerced together, I see and read. And to the daughter-in-law's mum, who I said there's secrets in the family. How can you as a mother do that to your daughter?
There are secrets in the family. Oh. So when I screen recorded this, because that's what I do, because these people, you know, first of all, I can't stitch with them, nor would I want the association, but they take their videos down as fast as they put them up sometimes, and sometimes they get taken down. So I haven't watched this in a really long time. Like when I say a long time, like a few weeks, which in my life, that's like dog years. And I didn't know, I knew she did that, but I forgot about the wording, and I forgot she did that in this video where I'm starting out. And it seems to me that when you start saying family secrets, it's a veiled threat of outing a particular kind of abuse. But she's not vile. Okay. I'm going to carry on.
As a mother, do that to your daughter. You're a disgrace. You really are. You're a disgrace of being a mother. And that is honest. I'm a mother of a daughter. And hell or high water, that would not happen. Disgusting. But anyway, I'm done. I'm really done. Because I've found ways to... yeah, just really done. And yeah, anyway, come and say goodbye to me and my hubby. Yeah, say goodbye. Say goodbye. Goodbye. We're done. We're done on TikTok. I'm done. He's a conniving. Yeah, bye. Sorry for all the grandparents out there, but yeah, they're so conniving and just horrible. And that's honest. The younger generation. All right. Bye for now. Wishes all the best. Bye.
And that's honest, and that's honest, and that's honest. If it's honest, why do you have to point out it's honest? That's a red flag. That's a red flag. That's a red flag. And she's done. But wait, there's more. And should we have her husband blink twice in case he needs an escape? It's not funny, but it's almost like I have to laugh at it or it really sets my brain on fire. So here's Miss I'm Done on TT. Yeah, let's go. Let's see. Let's see how done she is. Let's see. These videos are in the order in which she created them. So if she was done, there wouldn't be another video, would there? I don't think so.
Fiona Gorm, I can go on and on and on. I have screenshotted every message, everything you've ever sent me. So leave me alone. This is bullying at its best. The argument was between me and your daughter, not me and you. And the only argument I had with you was when I found out the family secret. And I asked you about it. And instead of you being a normal mother and saying, oh, really? Because I didn't think it was true, but because of your reaction on how you reacted, I know damn well it's true.
So she named the woman's last name on a public platform and is threatening her with receipts, which I bet you she'll never post, because why not? If they really worked in her favor, do we not think that this type of individual would be all about it? I do. So she names her by name, full name. She's threatening her. These are all very badly veiled threats in my mind, based on what I know about patterns of behavior with these types of individuals. Just saying. And she inserted herself, it sounds like, and probably was trying to create division and drama and, you know, do the triangulation thing. She inserted herself in something that was very likely none of her business. And now she's using whatever that thing is to make it seem like she's going to out it for everybody to know. And again, wherever they live, it's a small community. But everybody else is bullying her. Well, I don't see everybody else, I love that language, on TT coming back at her. They may get tired of it and go, okay, you want some of this? Like, here's the receipts. And I'll be watching for that, because if it happens, I'm going to post it. I'm going to put it on blast, because maybe putting it on blast, well, I don't think it'll silence her, but at least it won't allow her to continue to do the type of damage that she intends on doing, that she continually is, you know, well, she is doing. She's doing emotional harm to people who want nothing to do with her, and that was their crime. Oh, and not allowing her access to impressionable small children. Shocking, I know. Can you imagine not allowing this wonderful grandmother access to their grandchildren?
And that's the worst of the worst. But anyway, leave me alone, or I will be getting an intervention order on you, because this is bullying at its finest. Thank you. I am no longer doing TikToks. I'm going to be watching, but I'm no longer doing them, because I've had enough. Because everything I say gets twisted, or I get sucked in because you make false accounts and ask me questions. And I'm a silly old lady that gets sucked in, aren't I? And leave my YouTube alone. Because I've just reinstated my YouTube. So if you start on that, I'm telling you now, I will be going to the police. So leave me alone. Let me live with my husband. We're happy. And my husband knows every TikTok I done, because I showed him and he agrees wholeheartedly. So
listen, I'm not in the same house as her, and I'm terrified. So I can't imagine her husband, who definitely at this point, okay, I shouldn't speak in absolutes, likely would have Stockholm syndrome, okay? But leave my YouTube alone. I'm done making videos. Both sides of your mouth much? I'm going to find her YouTube. I'm wondering if the content is different. And if it is, there will be more. because I want to show the evolution is such the wrong word in this because it implies that she's growing. But for lack of any other word that I can come up with at the top of my head. So if you've got one, drop it in the comments because I'll need it for later. I want to see the evolution since all of this has happened. Because if she's not saying it on the TT, it's because the videos are probably getting flagged and removed because TT, you know, if it gets reported enough times, they don't ask questions, they just remove it. I've had things removed for harassment and bullying, and there was nothing in my content that would even touch either one of those things. So anyway, and that's been when, like, I've had a big creator, like a self-aware narcissist who came at me, and I lost quite a few videos as a result of that because they had over 1 million followers and thousands of people were, I guess, clicking the button. It was not a great time in my life, but it passed. And when I say in my life, I was able to ground after a couple of days, but the first 2 days of waking up to that hell was not fun. And it just shows how these types of people, and I'm not calling her a narcissist. I don't know her in terms of, you know, any personal interaction or seeing documentation of a diagnosis. So this is not that. I do think she is an utterly vile, poor excuse of a human being, let alone a mother and a grandmother, given the way that she is outing people, threatening people, and all of that. So anyway, anywho, she makes me tremble a little bit. I wonder if I'm having a little bit of a trigger of a freeze response or it's actually just cold in here. I'm not sure. I know, I keep saying that. She does. She gets me. She gets me on fire a little bit. Huh, interesting. I guess because she reminds me of my mother.
Renee, have a good life. I don't want to know you. And your kids. Do you know what? When I showed my daughter and my son that you said I never babysitted the kids, they both were hysterical. Absolutely hysterical. Because I had the kids more than you did for 8 months, love. So anyway, all the best to you. Hope you have a good life. And Fiona, just piss off, will you? Thanks. And bye all the...
So she's talking about the daughter-in-law that is the original daughter-in-law that she's been going after all this time. And in the video, if you go into the back video of this, the daughter-in-law never states that she didn't babysit her children. She states how she babysat her children. And this thing about having them for 8 months never occurred. What it was, the babysitting was that her and her husband worked opposite shifts. And I think 3 or 4 days a week, as I can best recall, in case you don't want to go back to that video, she would drop off her sons, the beloved grandsons that this grandmother is so desperate for, at their grandmother's house, her house, and the 1 to 2 hours in between the shifts, the kids would stay there and the dad would pick them up. And she also mentions that she made it very clear that if that at any point was an inconvenience, her company that she worked for, her job, her bosses, whatever, were very, very flexible on their hours and that she could change them at any time and that she didn't need to drop off the children there. But it looked like, you know, well, I don't have to do that because my mother-in-law wants to spend time with the grandchildren. She also makes mention of the fact that in spite of living very close to one another at the time, that this grandmother who was so involved with her grandchildren's lives never attended a sporting event or a school event or anything like that, never took an interest in any really big way or even small way outside of what was convenient when, you know, the kids were brought to her to actually have connection and a relationship with these children. So, you know, bald-faced lie. Just saying. Right there. And somebody's going to go, well, how do you know the daughter-in-law is telling the truth? Because this woman contradicts herself in a lot of her videos. And the daughter-in-law, if you watch the video, is very fluid, is very open in the way that she's speaking, other than to be protective of some of the things that would cause harm, even to her mother-in-law. If you watch it, you can see the sincerity and how earnest she is. And now she's privatized her account because she's not looking to gain followers and connection and attention the way this individual is. And this individual will do anything to get it. And I think that speaks volumes for the integrity that exists with the daughter-in-law and the lack of integrity that exists with this person.
And on that, I'm telling you now, I will be going to the police. So leave me alone. Let me live with my husband. We're happy. And my husband knows every TikTok I done because I showed him and he agrees wholeheartedly. So, Renee, have a good life. I don't want to know you. And your kids, do you know what? When I showed my daughter and my son that you said I never babysitted the kids, they both were hysterical, absolutely hysterical, because I had the kids more than you did for 8 months, love. So anyway, all the best to you. Hope you have a good life. And Fiona, just piss off, will you? Thanks. And bye all the grandparents, and I'm sorry, I can't help you anymore. I've just got a very vindictive daughter-in-law and a very...
I'm sorry, grandparents out there. I can't do this anymore. I can't help you anymore. But go to my YouTube that I mentioned earlier. Anyone catch that? I caught it. At the end of this video, because I'm chopping this up, I am going to include all of these videos in their entirety. So that way, if anybody wants to watch them all the way through to see the patterns in the behavior, the up and down, the vindictiveness and all the things, or you just want to see it in full context because maybe you feel like it got a little bit choppy, it'll be there for you. Okay. Okay, here we go.
Bye all the grandparents, and I'm sorry, I can't help you anymore. I've just got a very vindictive daughter-in-law and a very not so nice daughter-in-law's mother. So, alright, bye for now. No, bye forever. Bye. This one's to Renee, and Renee, I hope you see it, because then I've got another video after this one as well. But I read your mum's comment about the secret in the family, and your mum said that she knew, and the other person knew, and your nana knew. Even your nana knew about the family secret. Even your nana, who you love and adore, knew about the family secret. Your mother you don't love, and you've told me that numerous times. You don't have any time for your mother.
Your mother you don't love, and you've told me numerous times, and I understand. If there's a relationship between that mother and daughter, do you see what she's doing? She's trying to break down the relationship, her support system. And I don't know that there is. That's her intention, I think, though. And if there's not, it's to make sure it doesn't occur, that she doesn't have somebody to go to. This is such a patterned abuse tactic. It really breaks my heart for the daughter-in-law, and it would regardless. Now she has a face to me, so it's a different feeling. So anyway, let's carry on with this one.
And I understood when you told me about the family secret. Such a nana you? Really? Maybe you need to go and get counselling, because I think you do, sweetheart. But anyway, that one's to you, Renee.
Even your nana knew. I wonder if her nana is still alive, and she needs to go get counseling. Not her. Definitely not. Not Miss apologize for what. No, she doesn't. I mean, she's really going for what I think she believes are her daughter-in-law, still married to the son, her vulnerabilities. And if the daughter-in-law indeed confided in her, which she likely did, this person probably sucked her in, did the information gathering, and now is doing the classic thing that people who are predatory do. They weaponize the vulnerabilities that they garnered during the information gathering stage. It is so incredibly patterned. And that's why I say to people all the time, don't give people information unless you are in a time-tested relationship with them, where you've had enough time to see who they are to the other people in their life, for example. You don't owe information, because there are unfortunately quite a lot of people out there like this who will weaponize the things that hurt you, and they will go to extreme measures like this to hurt you in any way that they can. She doesn't like that she lost control. And isn't it not surprising that she has two daughter-in-laws that are no contact with her, that she doesn't have access to the children? And one of the daughter-in-laws, and she's about to start, telling a story here, her ex-husband, the son of this person, it looks like he doesn't have access to his children. And I guess we're about to find out a portion of why. I also want to point out that, and I don't know how, as I'm filming this, when I edit her video, and the only thing I'm going to edit for is sound. I don't touch them in any other way. Maybe I'll speed them up sometimes, but I'm not going to with her. But I don't do anything that would remove context. I don't manipulate the videos or anything like that. I try to clean them up for sound so that you can hear them clearly. And in the background, there's a lot of water playing, and I know I'll get to tone that down a little bit. She's also speaking very quietly, which leads me to believe she doesn't want her other people in the house, hubby, to hear what she's doing, because she's out of control, because she is that dysregulated. And I think it's also important to note that these videos that I'm playing now, she has removed from her platform. However, her TT platform, I'm going to check out the YT, the YouTube. However, she hasn't stopped. She's just toned it down a bit, and I'll put some things throughout this video. Well, even like these screen shots and things that I have here are things that she has done since saying, I'm not going to talk about this anymore. And she titles her videos or hashtags her videos with things like grandparent alienation and stuff like estrangement and stuff like that. She still wants to make sure she has a hold of that audience, even though she's not talking about it in a particular video. She is in others, but then she'll talk about cooking or what she's doing with her hair today, as if like we actually care, with her filters on her face, as a lot of these, I have no shade on filters. It's just a pattern of behavior that I'm seeing with the estranged parents. And I did a video showing, and I'll put it in this one too, how often they use these filters and how like that's such a big thing to them, because a facade is all that they are. And this allows them a next level of a facade. Anyway, even in the videos where she's talking about other, daily mundane, why would we be interested kind of things, I'm snarky sparky with this one in a like kind of way, like, right? She's got me in a different place than some of them do. She's still tagging it, hashtagging it with those hashtags. So she is far from done. She needs and loves the attention from this. And estranged parents who are toxic like this will band together. They tag each other. They play as a team, a group together, because they need a cultish environment. Whereas if you look at other creators, myself included, and not to say that I never tag any other creators, we don't band together this way. We're not looking to do something against someone. We're looking to heal. And when we tag each other, it's because we're maybe featuring a content that we'd like the other creator to pick up on or expand on and that kind of thing. And I've done that a time or two, and I usually say it in the video. It's a very different dynamic. It's a very different mentality. They need the squad to feel powerful. And, well, we don't, because we're not looking to feel powerful. We're looking to actually heal. And we're not looking to create more division. And I say we, I'm speaking, I think, on behalf of a lot of estranged adult children who I do know, who I do connect to. I don't mean we as in everybody, because I can't speak on behalf of everybody. I just know the behaviors and the patterns of our own behavior. And for particularly the scapegoats in these situations, we really are looking for validation and healing, and to know that we're not actually the crazy ones. Whereas they'll never ask if they're the crazy ones, because I think they know. Okay, crazy is the wrong word, but you know, give me a little grace on that one, please, peeps. Okay, I'm going to take a breath. Okay. No, I held my breath. Okay.
Now this is the second video I'm going to do, and this is to answer you, Malay, with your TikToks. Number one, you said that one of my sons is a drug addict, and so is the other one. Never knew smoking weed was a drug addict, but anyway, maybe you think it is, but you grow it and you sell it. And what happened the day when you tried to get my son, my second son, to go to court, and he's got him charged? He was actually behind your block videoing your marijuana.
Okay, so I want to stop that right there and respond to that really quickly. The daughter-in-law, they live on a big piece of property, and the video that the daughter-in-law did respond to this video because she was very alarmed, and I didn't screen record it, so I don't have it to show you. However, I did watch the entire video. She said, you know, she was very fearful of this. She was very fearful of the police showing up, of the disruption that this could create in her life, of the things that people might say at school around her children. Like, this really rattled her cage, understandably so, because she didn't want anybody to think that she was, and her husband is, a drug dealer, and didn't want her children stigmatized. Like, what a piece of human garbage this person is. She doesn't give a toss about those children, those precious grandchildren of hers. She is just next level. Anyway, the daughter-in-law said, I'm just going to just take you out on my property right now. And she walked through the whole property, and she was showing, you know, what they're, they have a big fence. I think she makes a comment. She makes a comment of it at some point. I have the computer here as I'm playing the videos. And she showed everything. She said, you know, this is a very serious allegation, and this is something that would really negatively impact our lives. So I want to make it known to anybody out there that this is absolutely categorically untrue. And so I want to make that very clear, because it's untrue. And she showed so, and I don't even have words. I don't have words. I don't have words. I don't have words around the damage that this individual is intentionally attempting to cause, because the daughter-in-law and the son dared to walk away and build a life without her because of her choices.
Plantation, which the police have, the video, and that's why all charges were dropped. I don't know if you realise that. So you're innocent, as you say. You are not. And I don't want to bring up dirt.
She doesn't want to bring up dirt, but she's bringing up dirt. If you don't want to do something, you don't do it.
But I kind of like need to.
Because you're bringing it.
because you're bringing it. You're being nasty and you're using everything you can to try to hurt me and this family. So that was that one.
You're being nasty and trying to do everything you can. So this daughter-in-law did not create any content related to her. I saw her page. I saw her videos. There are 2 videos where she is responding to her allegations and her behavior. But there are tons of videos predating this whole thing of her going after her daughter-in-law and blaming her for everything that's wrong in the family. So when you ask me or ask why it is I'm blindly, because I know somebody is going to, because I know the patterns of the troll behavior, which are, by the way, human beings who are emotionally immature and think that they can set my hair on fire, but they can't. Anyway, when you ask me why I believe the daughter-in-law and why I don't believe her, well, the proof is in the videos.
What's the second one? Oh, the insurance claims. Did you do an insurance claim for the stolen property that my son, the second son, was meant to have stolen? That'd be interesting, wouldn't it, for the insurance company? Because there was nothing stolen. And even the police believe now there was nothing stolen. It was all false allegations. And if my son wanted to, he could have got you both charged with false allegations to that charge, because he was in a video the whole time showing your backyard with your husband in your backyard screaming at him to go away.
I forgot about this. So the son, I guess, that's in a relationship with her, golden child, Snarky Sparky, went over to their property, their house, and was trying to look over their fence. And was videoing then, I guess, the other son, the brother, her other child, telling him to get away from his property. Why was he there? Why was he there violating their privacy, trying to look in their fence? Why was he harassing them? Could mommy have sent him over? I wonder. You see how she contradicts herself. This son didn't do anything wrong. He didn't steal anything. He wasn't doing anything. Well, why was he on their property, trying to look over their fence, trying to violate their privacy, trying to see what they were doing? And if there was an arrest, I don't know if there was an arrest, but if there was an arrest, it was probably because he wouldn't leave. That seems to me to be a reasonable thing to happen. If somebody's not going to leave, you're going to get them removed, right? I could be misinterpreting that. So if you think that I am, let me know in the comment section and I'll take another look at it. I just kind of want to keep flowing through with her because there's that much more.
That's number 2. Number 3, how many insurance claims have you had? 10? 11? Bogus ones? And that's how this all started with...
How many insurance claims have you had? She's just threatening them. She's threatening their reputation. She's trying to make it seem like they're scammers, which, could be a little projection there. That's all she's doing here. She's just pulling things out of air to create stress and issues for her daughter-in-law, her son, and the grandchildren that she says she cares so much for. If you genuinely love your grandchildren and are being kept from them, and you're really looking to mend relationships, because if you're so focused on the grandchildren that you're bypassing your own child that you should be healing that relationship with, you don't give a shit about anybody but yourself. Full stop. If they're your target, they're your target. If that's all you have in your sights. But the fact that she doesn't even have the grandchildren in enough of her sights to see that she is threatening their parents and potentially causing them issues, you know, it just speaks volumes about the fact that she really has no soul. Like, how can you be a person who has a soul, who has any love in their body, and do something to put your own children, let alone grandchildren, the most vulnerable ones, in any sort of harm's way? You know, when her daughter-in-law made a video back to her about these different things, she said, you know, like, you are putting my kids in a situation where people are going to be talking about this stuff. And it didn't stop her. She's not blinded, you know, by I don't even know what. It's not like it hasn't been pointed out to her. It shouldn't have to be, right?
The bogus claim that you've done on the house. So you got a payout for the damage to the roof for $46,000, which was handed over to you. And then you done another bogus claim for $20,000 on contents, which wasn't handed over to you. But this stupid old lady gave you $10,000 to try to help you out a bit. Me. Had nothing to do with it, but me, out of the goodness of my heart, gave you $10,000. You forgot to tell your parents and your family that, I'm sure. And then, so the other one got $10,000. To me, that was fair. But anyway, it's not to you. And what's the other one? Oh, your workplace. I got the most beautiful email from your boss stating that he had spoken to you and you had some form of, I don't know, disciplinary action on your behaviour at your workplace. You came over to where I was. I go to Coles. I shop in Coles. It's the only Coles.
Her daughter-in-law's boss emailed her. I'm sure that happened out of the blue. So now she's threatening her livelihood. So a little story time. One of my clients' mothers really had a target on her daughter-in-law's back, quite the same way that this one does with her daughter-in-law. And there were 2 grandchildren involved. And things came to pass, and it was like, we're done. We're done in a relationship with you. We're done, we're done, we're done. What did that mother-in-law do? Well, she kept doing drive-bys on the house. She showed up at the children's church when they were in like a kids group. And then, because they shut her down on those 2 fronts, she went and met with the boss. I was going to say what institute, not the name of it, but I want to be more vague. She went and met with the boss of the daughter-in-law to out her, to say that, you know, she shouldn't be around this and that and the other. Like, she tried to get her fired. Exactly like what this woman, I think, is trying to do. Anybody out there have a parent who emails back and forth with your boss? Do you, as a parent, email back and forth with the bosses of your children? Unless, like, you know that boss outside of work because you're friends or something like that. Okay. You'd probably be texting if you were friends, but does anybody else out there have that? Once again, she outs herself. She doesn't even realize how abnormal her behavior is, how boundaryless her behavior is. She has no absolute realization of the fact that she is not driving in her lane. She feels completely entitled to do and say whatever she wants to do and say. And as far as 10,000, let me throw in your face that I gave you money, which I highly doubt. And I highly doubt the amount based on just things I've seen in her videos. But even if it's true, And so you gave me $10,000. I owe you my children and my life and access to us forever, no matter how you behave. Does that sound familiar? I bet it does.
It's the only cops in the area. And you working, and you left your station and you came over to where I was. I didn't do it, you did. And you tried to turn it around. And the other one, you say that me and my husband scared your little boy.
So the little blips, I had to edit something out. Remember I said I don't edit things out. I had to edit out because she disclosed where the daughter-in-law works, and I'm not going to allow that to fly. So that's why it seems a little jumpy. And it's just one short word. So she went and harassed her daughter-in-law at work and then emailed back and forth with the boss. That's what I got from that. So in a public forum, in a small town, what she's really doing is trying to send flying monkeys. That's a thing, right? Where, I'm not really sending anybody there, but this is where my daughter-in-law with her full name works. Yes, you are. You want people to take up for you and harass her, for sure. No question about that.
I live in the same street as the school. Did you forget to tell them that one? We live in the same street. And you wrote me a letter stating in the letter that we tried to basically kidnap him from the school. Now, I have that in your writing. You signed it. I did go and see a lawyer, and the lawyer said I could take you up on that. That's a charge to say that me and my husband were trying to kidnap our grandson when all we done was wave at him. And he looked horrified, scared of me and my husband, to a little boy that used to run in our arms. So you've obviously said something to him, and it's got nothing to do with being scared at all. That's ridiculous. And as far as you being scared where you live and you put all the fences up, you put all the fences up to hide all your marijuana plants. So stop lying. I don't know what you're trying to make out, that you're such a good person. You've got some real issues. And as far as my work cover goes, I have a bad back, a really bad back, and there's something wrong with your brain. There really is. I've got the things to prove I've got a bad back. Yes, I don't whinge all the time, and I'm on a lot of meds.
That might be the only true thing she said. She's on a lot of meds. I had to. I can't. No, they don't live on the same street as the school. The daughter-in-law talks about it in the other video. And no. Just full stop, no. She was out of place. She was doing this to try to get the child to come to her, and who knows what she would have done next, because it's pretty evident that she has literally no conscience and would love nothing better than to terrorize her daughter-in-law. And I don't know why she despises her so much, because this is really a next level. Like I work in this field. My clients are narcissistic abuse survivors, and I see a lot of people. This is really next level. This is at a level that I don't see a lot. She is devoid of all conscience and all reality. So.
But I have a bad back. And you know what? Buddy you, and that's honest. My work cover, me having a bad back, has nothing to do with me being your mother-in-law. You're just grasping at straws, trying to make things just be awful. And I want to know what happened to Lonnie. I was told, and this is another one, I spoke to the lawyer. I was told that you have photos on the phone of the dog being shot. Really? Really? You shot the dog? You heartless person. And you took photos of it. I'm telling you, there's more. You really need to go and see a counsellor because there's something really wrong. And yet, I know you've dealt with the family secret since you were a very young girl. You come and live with me when you were 15. Remember that. And you weren't normal back then. My son loves you and good luck to him. But just leave me alone and stop it. Just because you had an awful childhood from a family secret doesn't mean you're pushing it on me. Do you hear me? I'm the one that said to you go to the police because you should. And that's what your grandmother should have told you to do, not hide it. And you know, your auntie thinks you're beautiful. And your auntie is a lovely woman, she really is. But you bagged her something shocking. You know, she got that bit of fat here removed surgically. And, you know, this is Renee. She said, oh, she's so vain.
She just thought of another family member that she could try to create division from by making statements like that. Again, so mother, you know, you don't love your mother, your Nana knew and did nothing to protect you. And oh, remember when you made fun of the aunt that you love so much, that loves you so much. Look at what she's doing. Look at how she's trying to make sure that nobody stands with her daughter-in-law. That's what this is. How does this apply to your own experiences? Because this is a very specific pattern in narcissistic abuse, right? She is smear campaigning her daughter-in-law in a very, in my opinion, methodical way by naming the most important people in her life to create division. Wow. It's pretty rare that I see it like, she's like speaking it on record. Well, she deleted it, but people, the internet is forever. Idiot. Yes, I just said, I'm not even going to edit this out. I am like snarky sparky, okay?
Lily, it's none of your business what people get. You know, in Georgia, poor Georgia copped, she was stealing your makeup. You don't have anything nice to say about a lot of people. And Larissa, your friend, she has no idea what you say behind her back. No idea. You're not a friend at all. She's a beautiful woman. And so's her husband. So's her kids. But you're not a friend to her. It's you act like it, and all you do is backstab people and run them down. And as far as you go, you've got a drug addict working for you, cleaning for you, that you are paying cash for. So that's who's paying cash, is you, your drug addict people that you get to clean your houses with. Anyway, good luck to you. I'm done with you. I really am done. You've got nothing nice to say at all, and I hope everybody realises what a nasty, nasty piece of work you are. And leave me alone, and your mother. Leave me alone. Bye.
Leave me alone and your mother. So she is in a relationship with her mother, and her mother's taking up for her. Okay. And she named off her close friends. Well done. Well done. And leave her alone. What are you? I don't even know what to say. Okay, I think there's one more at the end of this. Let me see. There's not any more after this. I hope that for anybody out there who has been through narcissistic abuse, and it doesn't even matter what the actual relationship was, because the patterns are the patterns. anyone who's ever been through a smear campaign, anyone who's ever been divided, or had relationships sabotaged, anyone who has ever trusted someone who has then weaponized their vulnerabilities against them. I hope that this lets you know that it's because of who they are, and it's never about who you are. Just because we end up, and I'm not even just talking about as being children growing up under individuals like this, just because you end up in a relationship with someone that you trust doesn't mean that you participated in how they violated you. And a lot of us get left behind with the feeling of we let something happen because we opened ourselves up to the wrong person. And that's just not the case. People are who they are, and they show up based on who they are, and it has nothing to do with you. It gets done to you, and it will get done to somebody else after you, and after them, and after them. Because people like this thrive off of creating pain for others, because it makes them feel powerful to have that level of control over other people's emotions. This is where they derive their pleasure and their power from. And so I think the one thing that I want everybody to be left with is that when you end up in relationships with individuals like this, that's on them. It's not your fault. And the best thing that you can do for yourself so that they can no longer set you on fire is to create distance in any which way that you can that makes you feel safe. And I say that because sometimes we have people in our lives that come with other people that it's hard to have complete distance from. Emotionally, though, we can have distance. We can have distance by having boundaries that we set for ourselves internally, because people like this are definitely not only not going to respect your boundaries, but as soon as they know what they are, they're going to weaponize them, right? And again, there's just, or maybe I didn't say it earlier, there's literally no value in trying to interact with an individual like this one, or try to repair or have any connection to them whatsoever. There's zero value, and there's definitely a lot of harm that comes from them. So not only is there no value, it's not like it gets left at zero, and you can go, well, there's no value, but it's just an interaction. No, there's going to be harm. There's going to be harm in your other relationships caused by anything that they can touch in your life. And it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. I hope you can see that they have their own separate reality. Look at how strongly she speaks with such conviction, right? She lives on a different planet, and she sees nothing wrong with conducting herself the way that she does, with victimizing people. She doesn't look at it as victimizing. She feels entitled to do and say whatever she wants to do and say. And she has little, actually, it looks like zero thought or concern for the damage that she's causing, because that's just not something she cares about. She cares about being right and powerful and in control of the narrative. That is the most important thing to her. Getting attention, being the victim now, so that she can make you the villain. And really, she didn't need her daughter-in-law to ever speak up for herself, because she villainizes herself quite effectively, because she is the villain. So anyway, who else do you want to see me cover? Drop it in the comment section. I do have a few that I'm working on that I've pulled from the comment sections. If it feels like I take a long time, it's because it does. Because there are a lot of these creators out there, and I apologize in advance for that. I am working on the ones that you've sent me, and I appreciate that, because when you get locked into an algorithm, I tend to see the same faces over and over, and I would like to be able to feature individuals that you're interested in particular. So anyway, thanks for being here, and I will see you soon. Whew, that was a long one.
Hi everyone, thanks for watching my video. Gee, I'm a silly woman. I really am. You know, I think people are, you know, my friends, my followers, and they end up being the enemy. But anyway, that's life, isn't it? But did you know, if you delete your account or deactivate it, you can see everyone that's blocked you. You can see their comments, their posts. I never knew that. So I've had a bit of a busy afternoon reading and watching all the negative things. Just wanted to say hi, Bell Bell. It's my other daughter-in-law, not ex-daughter-in-law. Hi. You two have coerced together, I've seen and read. And to the daughter-in-law's mum, who I said there's secrets in the family. How can you as a mother do that to your daughter? As a mother, do that to your daughter. You're a disgrace, you really are. You're a disgrace of being a mother, and that is honest. I'm a mother of a daughter, and hell or high water, that would not happen. Disgusting. But anyway, I'm done. I'm really done, because I've found ways to, just really done. And anyway, come and say goodbye to me and my hubby. Yeah, say goodbye. Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
We're done. We're done on TikTok. I'm done. Is a conniving. Yeah, bye. Sorry for all the grandparents out there, but yeah, they're so conniving and just horrible. And that's honest. The younger generation. All right. Bye for now. Wishes all the best. Bye. And Fiona Goodman, I can go on and on and on. I have screenshotted every message, everything you've ever sent me. So leave me alone. This is bullying at its best. The argument was between me and your daughter, not me and you. And the only argument I had with you was when I found out the family secret. And I asked you about it. And instead of you being a normal mother and saying, oh, really? Because I didn't think it was true, but because of your reaction on how you reacted, I know damn well it's true. And that's the worst of the worst. But anyway, leave me alone or I will be getting an intervention order on you, because this is bullying at its finest. Thank you. I am no longer doing TikToks. I'm going to be watching, but I'm no longer doing them because I've had enough. Because everything I say gets twisted, or I get sucked in because you make false accounts and ask me questions. And I'm a silly old lady that gets sucked in, aren't I? And leave my YouTube alone. Because I've just reinstated my YouTube. So if you start on that, I'm telling you now, I will be going to the police. So leave me alone. Let me live with my husband. We're happy. And my husband knows every TikTok I done because I showed him and he agrees wholeheartedly. So, Renee, have a good life. I don't want to know you. And your kids, do you know what? When I showed my daughter and my son that you said I never babysitted the kids, they both were hysterical. Absolutely hysterical. Because I had your kids more than you did for 8 months, love. So anyway, all the best to you. Hope you have a good life. And Fiona, just piss off, will you? Thanks. And bye all the grandparents. And I'm sorry, I can't help you anymore. I've just got a very vindictive daughter-in-law and a very not so nice daughter-in-law's mother. So, all right, bye for now. No, bye forever. Bye. This one's to Renee, and Renee, I hope you see it. because then I've got another video after this one as well. But I read your mum's comment about the secret in the family, and your mum said that she knew, and the other person knew, and your nana knew. Even your nana knew about the family secret. Even your nana, who you love and adore, knew about the family secret. Your mother you don't love, and you've told me that numerous times. You don't have any time for your mother. And I understood when you told me about the family secret. But your nana knew? Really? Maybe you need to go and get counselling, because I think you do, sweetheart. But anyway, that one's to you, Renee. Now this is the second video I'm going to do, and this is to answer you, Renee, with your TikToks. Number 1, you said that one of my sons is a drug addict, and so is the other one. Never knew smoking weed was a drug addict, but anyway, maybe you think it is, but you grow it and you sell it. And what happened the day when you tried to get my son, my second son, to go to court, and he's got him charged? He was actually behind your block videoing your marijuana plantation, which the police have, the video. And that's why all charges were dropped. I don't know if you realise that. So you're innocent, as you say. You are not. And I don't want to bring up dirt, but I kind of like need to, because you're bringing it. You're being nasty, and you're using everything you can to try to hurt me and this family. So that was that one. What's the second one? Oh, the insurance claims. Did you do an insurance claim for the stolen property that my son, the second son, was meant to have stolen? That'd be interesting, wouldn't it, for an insurance company? Because there was nothing stolen. And even the police believe now there was nothing stolen. It was all false allegations. And if my son wanted to, he could have got you both charged with false allegations to that charge. Because he was in a video the whole time showing your backyard with your husband in your backyard, screaming at him to go away. So that's that one. That's number 2. Number 3, how many insurance claims have you had? 10? 11? Bogus ones? And that's how this all started, with the bogus claim that you've done on the house. So you got a payout for the damage to the roof for $46,000, which was handed over to you. And then you done another bogus claim for $20,000 on contents, which wasn't handed over to you. But this stupid old lady gave you $10,000 to try to help you out a bit. Me. Had nothing to do with it, but me, out of the goodness of my heart, gave you $10,000. You forgot to tell your parents and your family that, I'm sure. And then say, the other one got $10,000. To me, that was fair. But anyway, it's not to you. And what's the other one? Oh, your workplace. I got the most beautiful email from your boss, stating that he had spoken to you and you had some form of, I don't know, disciplinary action on your behaviour at your workplace. You came over to where I was. I shop in Coles. It's the only in the area. And you worked, and you left your station and you came over to where I was. I didn't do it. You did. And you tried to turn it around. And the other one, you say that me and my husband scared your little boy. I live in the same street as the school. Did you forget to tell them that one? We live in the same street. And you wrote me a letter stating in the letter that we tried to basically kidnap him from the school. Now, I have that in your writing. You signed it. I did go and see a lawyer, and the lawyer said, I could take you up on that. That's a charge to say that me and my husband were trying to kidnap our grandson when all we done was wave at him. And he looked horrified, scared of me and my husband, to a little boy that used to run in our arms. So you've obviously said something to him, and it's got nothing to do with being scared at all. That's ridiculous. And as far as you being scared where you live and you put all the fences up, you put all the fences up to hide all your marijuana plants. So stop lying. I don't know what you're trying to make out that you're such a good person. You've got some real issues. And as far as my work cover goes, I have a bad back, a really bad back, and you're just, there's something wrong with your brain. There really is. I've got the things to prove I've got a bad back. Yes, I don't whinge all the time, and I'm on a lot of meds, but I have a bad back. And you know what? Bugger you. And that's honest. My work cover, me having a bad back, has nothing to do with me being your mother-in-law. You're just grasping at straws, trying to make things just be awful. And I want to know what happened to Lonnie. I was told, and this is another one, I spoke to the lawyer. I was told that you have photos on the phone of the dog being shot. Really? Really? You shot the dog? You heartless person. And you took photos of it? I'm telling you, there's more. You really need to go and see a counsellor because there's something really wrong. And yet, I know you've dealt with the family secret since you were a very young girl. You come and live with me when you were 15. Remember that. And you weren't normal back then. My son loves you and good luck to him. But just leave me alone and stop it. Just because you had an awful childhood from a family secret doesn't mean you're pushing it on me. Do you hear me? I'm the one that said to you go to the police because you should. And that's what your grandmother should have told you to do, not hide it. And, you know, your auntie thinks you're beautiful. And your auntie is a lovely woman. She really is. But you bagged her something shocking. You know, she got that bit of fat hair removed surgically. And, you know, this is Renee. She said, oh, she's so vain. You know, she had to go and get plastic surgery to get that done. And really, it's none of your business what people get. You know, in Georgia, poor Georgia cop, she was stealing your makeup. You don't have anything nice to say about a lot of people. And Larissa, your friend, she has no idea what you say behind her back. No idea. You're not a friend at all. She's a beautiful woman. And so's her husband. So's her kids. But you're not a friend to her. But you act like it, and all you do is backstab people and run them down. And as far as you go, you've got a drug addict working for you, cleaning for you, that you are paying cash for. So that's who's paying cash, is you. You're drug addict people that you get to clean your houses with. Anyway, good luck to you. I'm done with you. I really am done. You've got nothing nice to say at all, and I hope everybody realises what a nasty, nasty piece of work you are. And leave me alone. And your mother. Leave me alone. Bye.